The word surrender, when you think of it, a lot of times in our culture, it's looked upon in a negative way, right? Oh, they've surrendered. That means that you've lost, right? If you surrender. But that's not what it really means, not in a spiritual sense. To surrender means to release, it means to let go of this idea of your ego controlling everything. And it also has to do with believing in order to really surrender and not have it feel like a loss, you must be trusting in something. Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. This is Reverend Francis Faden, and I'm so grateful that we get to spend this time together helping you magnify your miracles. And I have a question for you. What would you say if I told you that there was a very unexpected thing that you can do to start experiencing more healing, more abundance, and more miracles in your life? And what if I told you that this was something that is actually an ancient path that you can start to walk and follow, and that it has been a path that actually Mother Mary herself walked? I call it the path of surrender, the healing path of surrender. And today we're going to be talking about the power of surrender and how you can start using it with your chakras, with your energy field, to really help you move past the places where you might be feeling like you've hit a wall or you're stuck, or especially if you have that feeling on the inside, like you're just so tired of trying to make it happen and trying to make it happen. This, my friend, is the key, and it's the power of surrender. And I'm going to be sharing with you in today's episode some unexpected things that have to do with some ancient mythology, that have to do with Mother Mary's path and the sorrowful rosary, and that have to do with the metaphysical meaning of surrender and how it can help you to unlock more miracles. So before we do any of that, let's take a few deep breaths together, get ourselves grounded and centered. Breathing in the energy of expansion, breathing out anything you no longer need. And knowing that whatever you need to hear today to help you move powerfully forward to magnify your miracles is exactly what you're going to hear. Let's take one more deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. All right, my friend, thank you so much and welcome back. So let's talk about the difference between making things happen and letting go. Let's talk about what surrender actually really means and why it feels so scary and why it's probably the missing link for you to magnify your miracles. And I want to share with you today how your own energy system can really benefit and heal through your practice of conscious surrendering, consciously letting go. So, as you know, I'm an interfaith minister. And one of the things that I love, love, love is I love seeing how there are parallels in different traditions. I love seeing it. You hear me talking about it with feast days and when we have holidays and holy days and other things happening all at the same time. How I feel like it's the universe really underlining and letting us know about different things. Well, it's the same when I see myths and stories and spiritual practices, and I see that there's this overlap that happens, right? And it's just been in the last month or so that Mother Mary has brought some things to my attention. Now, she's been talking to me about the path of surrender for a while, and I'm recording this now in the fall of 2025. And so, fall lends itself naturally to this idea of letting go. We have the trees and the letting go of its leaves. We have less light here in the northern hemisphere. So, the fall for us, it's a time of pulling our energy more inward and letting go of anything that is not absolutely necessary. That's what nature is doing, right? Nature is getting ready for the wintertime and it is starting to pull itself inward. Well, Mother Mary said she wants you to do the same thing. She wants you to be pulling your energy inward. And people ask me, like, Reverend Francis, what does that mean? And as somebody who has been on the spiritual path a long time, and I've lived in spiritual community, I've done a lot of different spiritual practices, I know what that means to me. But you might not know what that means to really pull your energy inward. Well, I'm going to share with you what Mother Mary has shown me. So, there is a spiritual practice that she has given the world called the Seven Sorrows Rosary. And you might be thinking, "Whoa, sorrows, like I don't want to be focusing on that." But let me explain this to you. So, we have the regular rosary, which is beautiful and it focuses on five mysteries. But there's something called the Franciscan Crown Rosary, and this is where you focus on Mother Mary's seven joyful events. And this is my favorite one of all the ones that she has, is to focus on Mother Mary's seven joyful mysteries, the seven joyful life events, the seven joyful turning points is how I like to say it. And that is a beautiful spiritual practice that anybody can do at any time. It's really simple and very straightforward. And you could look it up if you want to look it up and find out, the traditional way to do it. But there is, as with everything, there's the seven joyful mysteries and then there's the seven sorrowful mysteries. And I've only recently looked into this practice and how it relates to the chakras. So I knew from my friend Clark Strand over at Way of the Rose and Pradita Finn, they talk about the Franciscan Crown Rosary, the seven joyful mysteries, and how they correspond to each of the seven chakras. And you start at the root chakra with the first mystery, and you work your way up until you get to the crown chakra. Well, interestingly enough, during Lent is when many people will do the sorrowful mysteries for obvious reasons, and they'll do this particular rosary practice. But Mother Mary said to me, now we're getting into the darker time of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere, and she wanted me to guide the members of Magnify Your Miracles in this process of going down the chakras. So instead of starting at the root chakra and going up with each mystery, we're going to be starting at the crown chakra and then going down mystery by mystery, chakra by chakra. So I was fascinated by this idea. And what she said to me is she didn't want me to refer to it as the sorrowful mysteries. She wanted me to refer to them as the surrender mysteries. Isn't that interesting? The energy of surrender, the energy of letting go. So, in this process, with each one of these mysteries, it corresponds to a different chakra. Well, then I found out that there's also the mythology, and I am not an expert in this at all, but the theology of the goddess, I think you pronounce it Inanna, and her descent, the descent of Inanna. And as she goes to the underworld, she has to let go of something. She has to surrender something. She has to give up something, right? Some people think of it as sacrifice. I think of it really as just this letting go. And as she goes deeper and deeper to go down into the underworld, she just lets go until at the very last, she's just let go of everything. And that is the ultimate state of surrender, right? So I looked at these two things and I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. There's this ancient story and there's Mother Mary's story, and that hers is also an ancient story. And how do these two things overlap? And what does it have to do with your energy field and your chakra system? So let's take a look at this. The word surrender, when you think of it, a lot of times in our culture, it's looked upon in a negative way, right? Oh, they've surrendered. That means that you've lost, right? If you surrender. But that's not what it really means, not in a spiritual sense. To surrender means to release, it means to let go of this idea of your ego controlling everything. And it also has to do with believing in order to really surrender and not have it feel like a loss, you must be trusting in something. You have to trust that there's something greater than you that loves you and that cares about you. And that as you're letting go of the wheel, so to speak, that, there's another energy that will take over that perhaps can do it even better than you. Now, this is what I think. I think that we need to do as much as we can when we're looking at manifesting, when we're looking at going through our healing process. But then comes a point where we need to let go and we need to stop trying and we need to relax because it is in the relaxing and the letting go that the healing and the miracles happen. Now, think about it. You're wired for this. Every day you do this. Every day you get up and you live your life, and then you go to bed at night. And when you go to bed at night, what are you doing? You're letting go. You're surrendering. Your conscious mind goes offline. Your subconscious mind is always active. Your superconscious mind is active, but your conscious mind goes offline and you are in the great surrender when you're sleeping, right? Now your heart is still pumping, things are going on, but there's deep healing and repair that happens when you're sleeping, right? When you're in a state of surrender, the natural intelligence of your body knows what to do. It knows how to heal you, right? It knows how to do that. But we have to let ourselves let it do that, right? So when you're surrendering, you're letting go of your false ideas. You're letting go of the mistaken belief that you know better than the universe knows. You're letting go of your small picture of the remember, like there's your conscious mind. I think of it as like a radar screen, and it's like about that big, right? It's only this big. And here's the whole rest of the universe. And what's on our radar is only what we can see. It's only what we can sense. And there's this whole universe around you that loves you and that wants to work with you and bring you what I call your deep heart's desire, whatever that might be. But in order to do that, it has to match your frequency, right? And so the more that we're in struggle, the more the universe is going to mirror us with struggle. But when we surrender and we let go in love and in trust, that loving energy can come right in because there's no resistance. That's what's happening when you're sleeping. When you're sleeping, the reason it's so healing is there's no resistance. This is the work that I do with my own clients. I help them not only with the coaching aspect of things, but I work with their energy to find out like where is the resistance? Where are those cross currents? Where is the energy not flowing? Because that is the only thing that's keeping us from experiencing the miracles that we really want to be experiencing is our own inner resistance. And that resistance can show up as fear. If you're constantly in a state of fear, you're constantly in a state of anger and frustration, you're constantly trying, holding on so tight. That energy stops the flow, stops the flow. But when we relax and when we let go, that's when deep healing can happen. That's when your receptivity goes like this, right? So imagine what it would be like for you to not have to be sleeping for this to happen. Imagine what that would be like to not be sleeping and have that deep sense of surrender. That's when your miracles go from being, oh, that's a coincidence, to you consciously magnifying your miracles. That's what happens. So this is how I see it. This is what Mother Mary's guided me to do. And if you want to join us, I would love to have you join us in the membership. You can go to francisfaden.com/membership. We're going to be starting this on Wednesday, November 5th. We're going to be starting this 7-part series on the healing path of surrender. And every month, we're going to be focused on a different chakra. And we're going to start at the crown chakra. And we're going to start with that particular sorrowful mystery. And we're going to call them the surrender mysteries. And we're going to take a look at all the energy that's in your crown chakra. And your crown chakra is your relationship to the universe, it's your spiritual connection, right? So we have all these chakras, all these energy centers, and then we have the crown chakra, which is the one that connects you to everything. And that chakra is the one that allows you to get your downloads. It's the one that allows you to feel the presence of spirit, right? It's the thing that connects you to everything. And if you have some energy there, could be beliefs, could be traumas, could be things that were handed down from your ancestors, ancestral spiritual beliefs, or limitations of any kind. If you have a lot of stuff in your crown chakra that's telling you it's not safe for you to open up to spirit, or you have to be careful, or you're afraid of losing control, or whatever it might be, these are the things I commonly hear people say, then we need to let that go. Why? So that the grace and the unconditional love of spirit can wash over you. So we're going to be doing this 1 month at a time, one chakra at a time, starting in November. And it will take us all the way down the chakras until we get to the root chakra. And we'll be doing that one in May of next year, just in time for the month of miracles. And by that time, you will have cleared anything in your crown chakra, anything in your third eye that's getting in your way, anything in your throat chakra, your ability to express yourself, and you don't even have to know what it is, any energy that's there that's not allowing you to fully express yourself, anything in your heart center that's keeping you from experiencing unconditional love, anything that is happening in your solar plexus in terms of you honoring yourself and feeling worthy, anything in your second chakra dealing with relationships and emotions, and anything in that root chakra having to do with you feeling safe in your body temple, you feeling empowered and comfortable in your body, and feeling healthy and vibrant. Any mixed things in any of those chakras impedes the flow and can help and can keep you feeling stuck. We are going to be working through them. So every month, of course, in Magnify Your Miracles membership, we always have a monthly message from Mother Mary, absolutely. But in addition to our message, we will be doing a chakra activation for one of these surrender mysteries. So we're not just going to be talking about it, we're going to be taking you through it and really letting you release it through the power of Mother Mary, through the power of what we call the Holy Spirits, the spirit team that works with me and the spirit team that works with you. And if you would like to join us, I would love to have you join us. You can just go to francisfaden.com/membership. Magnify Your Miracles membership is something, there's no long-term commitment. You can join us for a month, or if you want to stay for the whole series, you can stay for all 7 months. And if you like, we actually even now have an annual option where you can pay annually and you actually save, I think, on 2 months worth of membership. So you can do that when you go to francisfaden.com/membership, and you can decide for yourself which works best for you. But everything is recorded. So if you can't be there live, you can always listen to the replay. And then the second call that we have is a mentoring call. You get mentored by Mother Mary. You have the opportunity every month to ask her a question about your life, about your business, about your dreams, about your manifestation, whatever it might be. And Mother Mary herself, I'll be channeling her answer for you. Of course, you'll have my coaching as well, but you'll get mentored by Mother Mary. And if you have anything that you have questions about for that particular surrender mystery, or for that chakra, or anything that comes up from the time we do the activation to the time that we have the mentoring call, you can ask that question and you can get your questions answered. It is so, so powerful. So I hope that you can join us. So this is what I wanted to say about that surrender. If you have tried everything else and things aren't working, it's time to let go. It's time to lean into the feminine energy of letting go, of trusting, of really tuning in to how nature knows that it's perfectly safe to let go of what you no longer need. And the things that you no longer need are things that you don't want to take into the next year, right? all those old beliefs, all those old hurts, all those old identities, all those things that just don't fit you anymore. That's what you're going to be letting go. Mother Mary is going to be helping you. She's going to be bringing her team of light, going to have my team of light. We're going to have your team of light. And with that, I know that miracles will be happening. So, my friend, I would love to know if this idea of letting go in a way that feels safe, in a way that feels sacred, is appealing to you. How do you think about it? And is this something that you're currently in the process of doing? I would love to know. You can just leave me a comment. I love to read all your comments and to get to dialogue with you. It's so much fun. And my friends, if you know anybody who would appreciate this episode, please pass it along to them. It really helps me out when you let your friends and your family know about it. I'm so, so grateful. All right, my friend, remember that the key to magnifying your miracles is really knowing that your miracle is already here. And to let it in, what are we going to do? We're going to let go and we're going to surrender. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, my miraculous friend, thank you so much for watching. If you want to be the first one to know when new videos are released, just click the subscribe button. And if you click the notify me button, you'll be the first one to know, especially if I go live. Thank you once again, and I'm sending you all my love and blessings.